How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk about stocks and focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. You just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about OCGN Ocugen. I'm getting a lot of messages like, Dre, you looking at the price action, there's definitely some opportunities to buy and take advantage of some swing trades, or maybe if you're deciding to go long, hey, we had some opportunities today. So like I do in my videos, I'm going to give you guys the agenda. So the agenda for today, what we're going to be going over, we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN in regards to the price action and what we want to see tomorrow, and as well as when this week progresses. Also, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We need to know all of these details, and it doesn't matter what your goals are for this stock. And then after that, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. You know, I got to give you guys a ton of value in these videos. So let's get into the technicals. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN. So ended up closing the day at $11.66, being up 0.60% on the day. We want to take a look at the ranges. So on the low, it tested $9.91, and then on the high, testing $11.72. So one thing that we could see right away here, and was not surprising at all, was the way it bounced off this $10 area of support. We already know this is also the area where they did the direct offering. So no surprise to see that it was able to actually rebound and go to $11.66 going into the close. And as you can see what's going on in after hours, it's at $11.81 on my Webull app and $11.86 right here on TradingView. So what we want to look out for tomorrow is OCGN able to actually hold up above $11. I feel this is a very key area. If not, then we're going to end up having these pullbacks, especially around this area around the $10.50 and that $10 range. So please do keep an eye on that. So the next question you may ask, what if this particular area ends up breaking? So if it does end up breaking, like we saw previously, it did test $9.91, but if it did go back even further, I would definitely look out for this area right here around 960 and seeing how well that holds up. If 960 holds up very well, then we would see a rebound going to the previous areas of support. If it did not hold up whatsoever, then definitely look out and seeing around this $9.20 level. But for the most part, we definitely do see clearly we have some resistance with OCGN. We tested $11.72 on the high, but we could see clearly here at $11.70. Once we're able to pass this area when there's a lot of volume and there's a lot of buying pressure, we can easily get up to $12. And anything when we get above $12, things can get real serious with this stock. I see it as a psychological level. It's a level that we've been able to also beat previously in the past. So when it passes this particular area, we could look forward to seeing that strong move going all the way up into the 1250s and so forth. Now, if there's no news in regards to the FDA approval or the emergency use authorization, what are some things to look out for this stock? Look out for pullbacks, right? It's going to be staying above that $10 range, like I said, because a lot of institutions got into this particular area. But if you're going to be setting up a stop loss because you're doing a swing opportunity, then make sure you give yourself a little bit of room in those other areas like we spoke about. Anyone who's going long on OCGN, hey, the catalyst is what you're waiting on. But as far as this week progresses, if we do not get any news, I want to see OCGN making sure that it's closing at above $11 or even greater, which would be good to see, being above the 200-day here at $11.27 and so forth. So as we take a look at the recent institutional ownership activity for OCGN, we can see here April the 27th. So as of today, we have CWM LLC opening up a new position, as well as Tarbox Family Office. And if we look at the 26th, we have the Cutler Group, we have Arcadios making some changes, and we also have Cutler Group again, and we also from April the 23rd having Central Trust. So from what it's looking like, institutions are definitely showing some bullish behavior and looking at the upside for OCGN. So let's take a look at the short interest now. So while taking a look at the short interest, I don't see anything in regards to the short volume ratio, so I'm assuming Fintel hasn't updated as of yet. But what we do know, on April the 27th, out of all the shares that were traded, there was 36 47.5 million in regards to short volume. So that is fairly significant. But what we can do as far as short shares availability, we have around 750,000. And as we go down further, we have the short borrow free rate as of April the 27th being at 42.99%. So what does this mean? It is very expensive for anyone who is shorting OCGN. As we go down further, we want to take a look at the history in regards to the short volume ratio. So on April the 26th, it was at 33.99. So I'm going to be assuming that that number is definitely going to be significant when it gets updated, and I will be keeping you guys inside the loop. But seeing this overall in general, I can't wait to see how this week progresses and how OCGN does. So let's get into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, I must say I'm very impressed. And we ended up testing that $10 level and ended up recovering very, very well. We already know $10 is where they did the direct offering. So seeing it hold up definitely does show a bullish pattern here. We haven't gotten any new news. There hasn't been any updates, but the stock is holding up fairly well, especially since we had some volatility, as we know that Biden's going to be speaking tomorrow. So taking this all into consideration, the way it bounced off that $10 area of support, it's impressive. And it closed above $11, so it's definitely continuing to look bullish. So what I'll be looking for tomorrow is that move getting into that $12 range. If it doesn't happen, what we want to look forward to is OCGN finishing above $11. The reason why this is so key, because I see it as a psychological level. Finish above 11, we continue this trend. What are we waiting for? FDA approval, emergency use authorization. Once we're able to get this, I can see some strong moves in overall price action. Also, when we take a look and we examine the short interest information, the borrow free rate is fairly high for OCGN. So taking that into consideration, anyone who is shorting this stock, they are paying a hefty price. So just knowing that, we already know shorts, they're not going to be playing around with this, and they're going to want to be covering because they're not trying to get burnt. So just knowing this, when it does move and when those catalysts do end up coming to fruition, things can get real serious. And this is why I always say it. Always protect your profits, but also I want to make sure you guys are minimizing your downside risk. If you're doing swing trades or you're doing short-term trade opportunities, be aware of those areas where it could pull back to if it decides to break that $10 level. Why? Because then it'll give you an idea, where should I able to actually set up my stop loss, minimize your risk, minimize your losses, and you're still able to get back into the trade and capitalize on the upside, because again, these catalysts are still up there and we don't know when it's going to be approved or when things are going to get done. Hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon. Peace.